Alright, I have decided. Tonight we will finish Disco Elysium. I think we're at the end. So, yeah. Exciting. We're at the island. Let's observe this wooden plank. Hmm.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
Nice.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
See. Oh.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface. The flock of quail departs. Now more than 100 meters away, 102, 105. On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline. Long dried leaves chafing against each other, like a silent orchestra tuning, of great importance to the few who attend.
Yes?
This is where a lesser man would stop to think about the pain shooting up his right leg and into his groin. Not
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Oh god, we're up here.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across. The lieutenant puts his hand.
It's cold now. But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Downstairs, somewhere? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves.
The lieutenant pauses. Something seems to be pecking at the edge of his concentration. He gives you a sideways look before adding,
Long and cold.
"There's no time to dwell on this moment. You've got to keep moving." The hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly. There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there, You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near healed. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Sleep.
Did I break the game? Fuck.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The Black and White Army of the Revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics, with blood dripping down your thigh.
This is better preserved than the others. No. An upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky. The symbol of the commune.
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as...
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel.
Yeah, the door disappeared.
The lieutenant.
It's cold now. But someone downstairs, liquid car, the kind
The lieutenant.
long.
There's a hollow ring.
I don't. Someone who is
The wind outside. Books and magazines. Most are soft covers. Popular depictions of man versus nature by among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Not that you can tell. Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. The print in some of these is... You see a small metal...
Another part of the island, probably. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting the...
And go to sleep again, I guess.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner. Rest.
Someone has been squatting here.
You fall.
You know, officer, you can...
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there. In the dark, you didn't. The blank, you feel yourself standing up in the darkness. Right now, sleep.
The door here is gone. When I went outside, there was nowhere to go. Is this glitch or? Oh. Well, let me get in. Oh, I guess apparently I can go this way. Well, I'm stupid. Oh, hello. What is this? Huh? What the? What is happening? This is a dream. I now understand. Oh.
Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism,
Oh, I found her.
and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship.
Oh, it's the
airbag
video
in her
rental
hand.
store.
She seems to be in a hurry. Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking, but you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold and mean. Let her go. Let her go. This is the Holy Queen of the territories of Muindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win her back.
Hey.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically.
Oh,
I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry?
I'm not doing very well.
Don't say that. I know this positive thing sounds stupid to you, Harry, but it works. We all have an obligation to be happy. You too. And you will be. Now,
Something is off.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions.
Don't have time to tend to my emotions.
She sighs and looks over her shoulder. What are you doing? Stop saying things like that.
Oh, okay. Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
What's in the bag?
Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
Crown of Immortality, aren't you already wearing one?
Oh, this. This is just a wreath.
Oh,
The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium.
mm-hmm.
It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder. Silence. Her nuptial gown flows in the wind, wraps around her holy body.
Anyway.
Your skin is holy and
No,
soft.
Harry. It's just regular skin. I'm not as beautiful as you always thought I was. Let's not get into.
You are. None of the others are as beautiful as you.
She does not answer. There's that expression again. Silence. A distant wind blows. You can't think of anything pretty to say.
Challenging failure. Oh. You stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic showdown.
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In
Oh,
hell.
thanks.
Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
I bought you this figure of a headless Fallon
I
Rider.
don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it.
I thought you liked figures. I thought the figurines were for getting you back.
That's not what figurines do, Harry.
But then the figurines don't do anything.
She looks at the headless found rider between your fingers and doesn't know what to say. The figurines don't do anything? Anything at all. But I thought the historic figure she had.
You liked war games and figurines?
Yes, I thought it would be good. A form of communication where words have failed. Yes, it was a good idea. But she felt obliged by the headless phone rider to give you things in return. Things she no longer wants to give you. So she refused. That's how it goes. Your figurine rider idea was naive.
What about dice? I had some custom dice made in this place, doomed commercial area.
Harry, I don't want things. I want to go to the aerodrome.
Well, what about this revolutionary figure?
No.
Got a little
please,
musket.
Please don't give me anything.
Okay.
I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked these things a long time ago. The headless Fallen Rider especially. But now, only boring hell remains.
That's not a very good way for things to be.
It's not. But
What? Tell me there's something good.
I don't know why I said but. There is no but.
That's it?
That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
Maybe. I think I've reached the end of the investigation.
See? It just takes some time. For you, I think it'll take something like 20 years, maybe. It was hard for me, too. I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight. But it's clear you're still making her sad.
Oh.
It's not. It's just not possible. It's like eating rocks. You just can't do it.
All my strength, I can't. It's like eating rocks.
There is a silence. She looks at you, then over her shoulder, then corrects the wreath on the dome of her forehead. As you talk, it feels like chewing on gravel, granite, steel bars.
20 years? That's so much
Yes.
time.
It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew.
You felt that way once, that you cannot live without me?
Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone.
Your innocence, Dolores Day, I am sorry I made you
It's
sad.
okay.
Maybe we could try again.
No, Harry. We can't.
Oh,
We already tried again, and it didn't work.
I see.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice and then give up. By that logic, not you too.
Let's be the last sane people in the world, but only twice. If it doesn't work, let's lose our minds and let it all sink into the pail.
Yes, of course. You've got everything under control, and I'm hysterical because I don't want to keep hurting you.
I can do it better.
I don't know. Please.
Why?
Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
Oh.
She avoids turning them to you.
Wait, cool insane?
They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get a hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown.
What do you mean by
You know
insane?
what I mean.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm a cop. It's not easy work like some kind of academy or something.
A cop. You've worked there for so long you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions.
Questions? Did someone say questions?
They're not lists, they're
This is
trees.
another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now.
Yes, but it's not possible to talk without
It's
trees.
not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay
Oh,
down for years.
that's not good.
And then you start beating things. You get violent.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
In
great.
conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day.
I heard you before. You're the voice on the
Oh,
phone.
Harry, you shouldn't have done that.
Do it.
Call me like that.
Yeah, well.
You ruined it. There was still a chance. You should have waited longer. She would have called you instead.
It wasn't me. It was my hand. Raise your right hand. My fingers called
They
you.
shouldn't have. They really shouldn't. I was in Morova already. Safe. in the warmth of the night, wrapped in my future love. There, I think of you less and less. Whole weeks go by without me remembering you. Months already. Soon it will be years without the hurt. I sit there in Morova, in the holy gratitude of my bliss. I put my hand on my belly and smile.
The air gets cold around you. She looks down on her stomach, then up at you. Her eyes are full of tremendous distance and mystery. The death blow is coming. Black-eyed dogs wander the alleys. Apple trees hang their bony limbs low over the patchwork of roofs. Red and black means pain.
Oh my god.
Why? That's what dolor means.
You're the symbol of pain.
Great. Now I'm the symbol of pain.
I can't believe I failed that.
That was not the death blow yet. You saved yourself. For now. Keep stumbling around and it will happen.
You're the
The
morning.
morning? I don't understand.
No, I meant morning. I'm grieving, but you're not
Oh
even
my
dead.
god, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive. Any of that. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn.
You're the X
Wasn't I
something.
Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne Aerodrome at 10:20 p.m. I still have a light rail to catch. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
After having this conversation, I'm getting so much closure.
I'm glad too, but I have to go. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite.
She does not look back. Instead, eyes her fingernails. They're bitten frayed. The evening wind blows in. The gown wraps around her like a white flag. 1,000 times you've beaten animal. 1,000 times you've raised that fabric. What is underneath has always calmed you, centered you, made you sane. In your mind, you could still climb inside her bed. Still the only man.
You're just an evil ape. We're all just
You don't
evil
have to hate
apes.
the world. Can't you see how kind and beautiful everything is? I don't have time to deal with your pessimism. There are so many people at the stop at this hour. They're all going to the aerodrome. See?
The weight is you and your hate.
Yes, Harry. I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world.
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
I've taken responsibility for my actions now. I'm a new man, weighty and normal.
She doesn't know what to say.
I'm so fucking normal right now.
Yes, okay. I'm glad.
I mean, I'm a moralist. The other moralists almost took me away on their airship. I'm not a broken, insane man who can't live without you. I know I made mistakes. I've taken full responsibility for all of them, so you can live with me again if you want to. I'm better now.
It doesn't sound like you're better at all, Harry. It doesn't even sound like you're a moralist. It just sounds like you want to win me back or something. I don't want you to try that anymore, okay? It's too sad. I need to go.
Total annihilation. We got annihilated, Harry. It wasn't about responsibility at all. It was always only about you having no power at all. Over her, yourself, anything. That's why they didn't take you on that airship. You're insane without her.
But you said I have a vast soul and that you will always come back to
We
it.
both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
So you didn't say it, you wrote it in a letter, a handwritten letter. I kept it in my
As
paperwork.
Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You need to recite it to her, for effect.
Hmm.
All of it. No summary. Yeah, Put a stake through your heart. She won't get hurt. She'll bend out of the way.
I have it right here. Let me refresh your memory. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
Please, Harry. I just don't have time for this.
Every morning when I step out and you're asleep beside me, I find a little piece of sadness in me, carried in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows, until by the time I reach the fuel station, it's filled me completely. Step on the light rail and look back. Something, something, bow collector. I know it will be like this until I walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now?
Being a police detective, I performed a handwriting analysis on this, so I know it was you. There's more. Kisses.
Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. You slept. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left, on Voyager Road. It was autumn. The first autumn. But Harry, please understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I am no longer that person.
Huh?
This has taken her place. It will devour you.
Oh.
Harry, I will eat your mind.
Oh.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
Can you turn back to the person you were? I can see her in you under the gown and that
And my
brief.
crown of immortality. No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, the awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
You're a better man now. More level-headed. More normal.
Yeah, nice place this time. I can provide for you. I was young and
No,
weak then.
it's too late. I found someone for whom I feel the same love I did for you. Only this time, he is more careful. He will not lose me. It will go somewhere. It will grow.
Your heart burns. Through the blackness, you feel the trickle of blood on the mattress below you.
Harry, do you notice how none of this is very funny?
What did you mean by grow?
She smiles mysteriously, looking east, then turns her gaze back to you. The smile is gone.
I was cool?
The coolest. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants. Smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first. My first kiss. My first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me. It's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore.
A ticket stub.
Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river. To the aquarium first. I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face. The octopuses. It was just a day then, but to think. Were we there now, you could touch my hair. Kiss me. Talk to me about anything. Go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and regret. Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, you should let me go to the aerodrome.
Oh my god, I failed. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Look at him go. Oh no.
Your feet still tremble from the steps you took, as if over an enormous distance, standing against her. Her body close to you, radiating warmth. With your eyes closed, you move your lips on her mouth. She is not kissing you back.
I'm just gonna give up.
The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I
Jesus
felt.
Christ. That's it then.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see.
Okay, you're pregnant, I get it.
I'm pregnant.
Not mine.
Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember?
Oh my
You
god.
poor fuck.
Jesus fuck.
Poverty-stricken fuck.
Yeah, that's a pretty mean line.
Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else.
No, this has to end. Do the last one. More questions. Ask more.
Bullshit. No, I'm good.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30.
Lies, sire. She cannot but love you. She has said so 100 times.
Why can't we sit down and have a coffee first?
No. That would only be painful and dull. At the aerodrome, life, love, and laughter are waiting for me. At the cafeteria, dust, hell, and tragic comedy.
Hold on, what is there to do in Morova?
Light, life, culture. It's so much better than here. Everything here reminds me of you, and the horrible times we had. The nights we stayed up fighting for our dying love. I have to wipe it all off me and be clean again. I want to be a good person again.
Uh-oh.
Not this. Not what you made me into.
Don't want me to let you go. Not really. You asked me not to.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight.
No.
Yes.
Will we ever see each other again?
I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now.
Yep.
Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago? Right here, tomorrow night.
Oh.
Once this dream starts
Great.
happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After
This
leaving you the
is-
first time.
This is intolerably bad.
Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
Oh. Oh. Oh, hey, Kim. How's it going?
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
Um, spit out the blood and get back to work. You're a badass
Okay.
like that.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep.
Through that. Let's do, uh, Listen? No. Composure.
The heavy metal doors. Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium. The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard has
The console of an anti-computation device. The general... Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room.
We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in it. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
The boat engine.
But officer, then we would have to swim back to the mainland. Let's just look around, okay?
The consul stands by, mutely. Urgence?
That was fast.
There's a
Is there
rain-soaked
bed?
mattress on a concrete slab.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning, like anything other than the rain. The springs
shot?
screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting, 1 kilometer across the water. A towering skyscraper. It's the red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Sonde. The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
Motherfucker.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
More than that,
Him with a pair of binoculars, I would be able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
I could make it. I could make the shot.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Fine.
In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
6 people are dead. Could have prevented it.
Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it. Where?
Martinez.
I have always assumed it's someone local.
He feels uncomfortable suddenly.
We should move now.
Level of volition.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea, leave it all, and walk in with a bottle in your hand.
Bottle in my hand.
Always.
Why?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been, smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal. Maybe you know it's going to hurt.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
No.
Yes. No. We're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over.
Is your sight?
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Oh no. That would be so. Okay, let's go open the door, I guess. Going the wrong way. Well, let's put our point in. Logic. Sure.
The console is powered. This old cylinder. The lieutenant assists you, holding the can. There's a red starter switch on the recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse.
That should do it.
A dim golden glow and an
It's on.
automatic boot. The lighting in the room, the dial slides under the dusty glass. Dark, an idea lights up in your head.
This is an air-gapped system. Of air, I think they call it. That won't work. No, I'm not. But it would not be very good military technology if programmer ladies could...
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Oh. Time to go.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
What's there?
I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
I'm scared.
Don't be. I have a gun.
I also have
I
a
know.
gun.
It was not easy to acquire.
It was not easy to acquire, that is true. Alright, well. There we go. Okay. For anyone out here? Oh. Well, we found him. This the man? The man who did the sick big murder? I guess it must be, huh? I mean, he has the rifle. Probably an old-ass rifle.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell two kids to put out their fire, two twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Is he like still fighting the war in his mind?
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
You closed the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
How'd you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music.
Playing
on the water.
I did do that.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
It was not rock and roll, it was sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness.
Oh.
A weapon of the bourgeoisie. The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating mental illness music.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Bell McGrave?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
Show him the gun in your hand.
Yes. I bet you've killed a lot of people with it.
Four.
You
Four people.
fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
His right eye twitches. With what? Fear? Rage?
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's a fire, the next, a fire gone out.
You can keep the gun, but keep it down. No. Can you put down the gun?
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
I am an enemy commander.
It's a good line, but your voice slips on, Commander, producing a little squeak.
Fuck.
Sounds like you're
Fuck.
afraid.
A big-time operator of the pederast army. How about I keep it, huh? Hand it over to a real killer. A Briskar.
The lieutenant aims his pistol square at the man's forehead.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
Pick up the gun.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a Triangong, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is the right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response. Something is slightly off with his motorex. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army
Oh my
of the
God.
Commune of Revachol.
It was communism that killed him.
I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was an Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. 43 years and 10 months.
That's insane.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't. He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering.
Oh,
One
they
day,
left it.
It says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting for her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
Girl Child Revolution. I come from there.
I am not a fool. I know the material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
Said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic, the combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room. I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
Airships, multi-roted airships used in the landing.
Aerostatics. The landing had started. I climbed out into hell. There were ships all above, hissing, whirling, and men pouring out. The chain was submerged, so I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Some kind of great terror, worse than you've ever seen.
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human.
Let him finish.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
Coalition military.
Iblis,
Iblis.
the black-eyed angel. How does anyone survive? I steal
Steel.
supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
You also have Druamine.
Would you like some drugs?
I have been running out of that stuff.
There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now.
It's the little joys. The dark joke. A sunshiny day. Morphine. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund. I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
You been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were.
Useless now. Rusted away.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground. I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans le Monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
The Communards signed the Ribacholian Instrument of Surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
he just wipes the blood from his chin.
Understood.
I don't think you did. You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing, and sporting goods. It's not real. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean
What's that
something.
mean?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a night philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology. He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for killing people.
Oh,
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war.
Mhm.
Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay, okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But
But what?
this is what you live for. This is the shit.
The shit.
The great serotonin jackpot. The solution.
Oh.
Going straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now.
Mm.
Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor, Colonel?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
A beautiful, strong man sent by the honorable private military corporal colonel. The corpse in ceramic armor hanging behind the whirling rags. Did you shoot him?
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof.
Huh?
Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun.
The
The
gun.
murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the back of your head.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh, yes.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony.
Oh.
And nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust
Oh,
in the
yeah,
secret space behind
yeah.
Clausia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up.
Thank you.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern sign. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Maybells behind the victim's window. I saw them growing here.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
Haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinet, only here.
They blossom on the islets before. We fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May, before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little...
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may. Classier.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
You haven't heard her name, had you?
My ears don't reach the city.
You had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Almost. But you need one more. Just one. Or maybe two.
What brand of boots are you wearing?
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Duras.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Maybe it's simpler than that. Motherfucker.
Simpler? No. This is another loose thread you will never connect.
God damn it.
The lieutenant raises his brow. What are you doing? He's thinking. We almost got him here. Not now. Stop yourself.
Oh,
People change shoes, detective. It was you. You were there, weren't you? Crawling and whirling in rags. What were you doing? Some kind of reconnaissance? Preparing the scene? Listening in on her?
Trying to rack your brains. You're desperate to report something back to your masters. They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silence suddenly. Some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. More. He's gonna crack. But you need a little more.
You're a communist. I talked to the dead man. He told me communism killed him.
Stupid twat.
The lieutenant looks at you with worry in his eyes. Not this, he seems to say. Anything but this.
His intuition. Had he spoken, he would have said communism
Intuition
killed
is
him.
an aberrant psychologism.
Crypto-fascism.
Crypto-fascism. The parasite class use intuition to justify their rank in life. It's all just palmistry and magic. Earl creatures. Your brain is rotting from the radio waves.
He does not answer the Yeah, this just did nothing. But
Right.
still, somehow you knew it was a communist. Perhaps you suspected it before you took the case. The vision was you remembering that. Was it supposed to?
I'll look deeper then.
The inland sea is dark, vast.
Standing there, slack-jawed, brain festering.
Done the ballistics. The shot
I
came
saw
from
you
this island.
poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Druss. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
Leave no stone unturned. Get him on what matters most.
I got your rifle.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going
Oh,
against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
don't let it divert you. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
You think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
We have the murder weapon.
Good.
Logic.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood.
He was a killer, but he was still under the protection of the law.
Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him?
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Hold your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it,
Click.
then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of...
I never thought of it that way.
You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
them fucking. I didn't like that.
You were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy
Jesus
life anymore.
fuck. That's fucked up.
And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second. Writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
This man has seen past her, like you did. And now he longs to see her covered in blood. To punish her.
How long have you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, Still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then. Just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the fell building on the coast. What was she doing there?
Putting her papers.
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
And what do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
After she was gone,
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
no. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
This implies that he's thought about extorting her. Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
You sure? We checked it. There's nothing there.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
A strange confusion comes over him from time to time. Some kind of aberration of the nervous system.
Yes. Well, her name was different on the
It
passport.
didn't say Clausia in there.
What did say her name was in the passport?
It was something. I don't remember. It was
Okay.
dark that
All
morning.
right. Well,
I only remember her face on the photo. I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks. And a body hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachal's the cloaca of capital now. All the
Cloaca?
bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
you can see her bruises through the scope of a rifle.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
How does he know these minute details about her body?
He must have.
Oh my
climbed to the roof, maybe.
fucking god. What is going on? How did you get close enough to see her bruises, Mr. Dross?
I have my ways.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling rags. Those were your footprints. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
Thank God, the lieutenant is picking it up.
But that Nook too?
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick one more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know,
Oh.
15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope. She practically breastfed
Oh.
that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
Yeah, I hate it too, you know. Saw through her. So did I.
You're delusional. There's nothing to see in the soul of the bourgeois woman. It's the same as the surface. Sick hedonism and desperation.
Okay, I just can't not say
True.
this, so...
There is something bourgeois about women. The weak are more vulnerable to exploitation by capital, unless they rise up in arms, which the likes of her, twisted by psychopharmaceuticals, alcohol, and the class interests of the bourgeoisie, they all are women nowadays. There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
So why you left the flowers?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of our room on the floor, like she does sometimes, the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
You wanted to console her.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
I'm leveling up a lot.
That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
Got away, but she let us here first. She figured out someone was watching her from the sea fort.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, on the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees there on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village. 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across. He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? You could get more out of him. He likes talking. Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists, Everyone is a racist
Oh.
in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries, pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals. Like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Quayamorang, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children.
Oh,
Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores...
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
Disco horse?
Whores.
There's something about the statue on the roundabout and syphilis?
Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination.
Abomination.
The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
Is that possible?
That is technically
What?
possible, although Philippe III was
Really?
not actually syphilitic.
That's weird.
He was just mad.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues, too. Hundreds of them. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
The cynical advertising yuppies erected a disconstructed version of it.
That's right. Some advertising cockroaches
Yep,
erected
I
a
do
cynical
remember this.
deconstruction of it. We tore it down with honest working-class plastic explosives. And there it is again. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata. Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Edgar.
You mean Edgar?
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that. First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
Have you approached them?
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things.
When was this?
20 years ago.
Oh.
Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clears came to power.
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
Did you kill the mercenary for the Clares?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics.
Oh.
They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
20 years ago when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they?
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation and money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him, tempered by something familiar to you.
She was also a woman,
familiar
wasn't she?
rage.
She was, and she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muskova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say, on the eve of battle. Ran away, vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
We had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Ross?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Oh, really?
Here it is, the bend in the river.
Why?
Because she was dead.
Oh. Say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned.
Jesus.
Or bled. Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her and the ruins.
You shot her.
Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is...
Another big spike of rage, different from the one he has for her.
nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk.
Really?
We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do it.
I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody. And the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to
You
proceed.
mean Renee?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one.
So he was part of the former. He was. Before the commune took
That
over.
one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
Like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think. No, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, René. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting
He's
around.
dead.
Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
He died of old age a couple days ago.
No,
Yeah.
I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
He had 1,000 chances to kill
And
him.
I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You tried to think of something else.
All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days.
Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls into a...
Glad we talked about what?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an... He's clearly a drug user of the painkiller sort, prone to erratic hand gestures, and malnourished. But that's it. The moment passes, and you say,
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
the sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought
Fuck.
you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
you come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
We can ask the net picker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
This world? What are you talking about? Is this... us?
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly.
Oh my god, he's about to be shot. Of course Everett had, precautions in place. Oh my god. It's the fucking cryptid.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence. It's still there. An unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
Giant stick insect?
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks
Oh
straight
my
at you
god.
with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it.
Him,
I can't make out one small thing in the reed.
can you see it?
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute
What the fuck?
silence.
It's
Its
terrifying
limbs
looking.
long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
What the fuck?
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
It is.
You glance.
Oh my god, he
over
has
your
the
shoulder.
camera.
The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open.
Oh my
extremely
god.
carefully. It's the camera. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
Him. Are you sure you won't scare it off?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
It's afraid. Stop
I
now.
won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Kim, I have the pheromone. I can approach it.
I don't think the pheromone will do anything.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Don't be afraid.
Nothing changes in the cyclical braying motion of the creature's limbs. They are porcelain white on the inside and reed-colored on the out, beige, light brown, and striped. You are unsure if it is scared or not. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you.
It's
to take
smelling
in
me.
and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
It's smelling me.
Maybe it is real. The pheromone.
The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No, stop. Be afraid. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life. its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations, as if perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
It's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Did not give up on Phasmid. Knows of pathogenesis. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Fuck.
Its simple eyes give off no flicker of light. No one is home. The twitches of its limbs are insect-like, unknowable, perhaps without substance even.
I want to know your
It's
mind.
spread too thin among its limbs, performing incomprehensible operations on the world. And you, looking at it, mouth slightly open.
Okay, Kim, take the
cannot-
picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the kiting curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet. Looks like someone's got hurt in a fight. This antennae is much smaller than the other one.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays. It tastes like sugar. Very faint. The anthropod towers above you. Tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water. The limb before you is incredibly
That's cool.
light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
Pull your hand away.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening. Wave by wave from its stupor, some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
Oh, time
Another
to
shudder
back off.
pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
What are you doing?
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Wunderbar.
Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts, and all the earth is filled with his glory. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist,
By what?
shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
It's the type of animal I'd like to be.
Are you sure?
No.
Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna.
That's cool.
No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk.
You don't have a foot there now.
Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again.
Nice.
This would explain its antenna being smaller.
Ah.
No, it's what the 3 meters tall stick insect came up with.
All's well that ends well.
Yes, I am lucky. It is nothing compared to the horror that is you,
Oh.
with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. A nerve mirror of horrifying fidelity, constant, never-ending damnation.
I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
I was born to detect you.
Yes. No one detected me for such a long, long time. For thousands of years. I dithered, out of sight. Trapped myself in greenery.
This is my masterpiece.
No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping off blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years.
Is this a dream?
No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once
Oh.
caught myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
What are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molting, cloning myself,
You eat
unfolding
locusts?
at night to play with trashkins and boys.
it may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Semenese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Reverchol, district of Martinez, March 51. Yes, I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry. It is only destructive over long periods of time.
The deserter. He's been here for a long time.
So he's being poisoned by the Phasmid?
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is,
Huh.
I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile senior nerve system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
The pale is human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing.
Oh.
Just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget?
I will be extra careful not to blink, Stick and Sig. Don't worry.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
Okay, what does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Oh, I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Is it somehow related to the case?
Case? Sort of.
I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
Okay. I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the most beautiful.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For all mankind.
What woman?
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, he smells of fires. So awfully far you would prepare to go in her presence. And it.
I will.
She was held on Earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Goodbye.
And
Mom, get
just
the
like
camera.
that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Oh,
It's gone.
left us a present. And walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What's this in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
Okay.
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good.
Oh. We got it.
Brother, you've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown. It would have looked very impressive. Still, you found it all. Now your mortal coil is completely protected.
Woo!
Few cops are this futuristic.
What's this? Oh. What? It took her passport? Common sniper scope attachable to any bolt. Oh. Cool.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
It's Klasia, with short black hair and an old photo, before life came and did what it does.
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was, hiding place, or perhaps. But that still doesn't explain how it got into the nest. Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have...
By now, the lieutenant...
I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be...
Would it? Maybe it was simply curious.
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But she said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Klasia comes from. Remember? God damn it. I told you she kept lying to you. She's probably lying to someone else right now, in another city.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us. One more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now. I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alasia, or Klasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
Hey, buddy.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing, like an addict of some terrible substance. A light shiver passes him, followed by...
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem. Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you? Told you? Yes, good. During your long staring match, I understand. That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here.
No response.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But
Oh.
anyone who spends a long time with it.
Oh, it has, like, that's the weird toxic effect.
Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it. He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Nothing. The last embers.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would pull it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
No reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden. Around 80,
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the coast?
The spirit.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid, this sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being. The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
I feel like we're gonna come back and he's gonna be dead. That's how I feel.
The skiff is swaying on.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Great. Who the fuck? I already know who. I know who the two people are. Who's the third guy? Or the second guy, rather. I got my gun.
Look what the tide brought him. What is that? Full AC? What's with all the performance gear? Are you back in high school?
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Wait, you're the man with sunglasses.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
No one else seems bothered by my fallen gear.
Bothered by it? Harry, you're a goddamn cop. They're afraid of you.
Oh, that explains it.
Yes, that has always explained it.
This is not the first time he's seen you all decked out in Waka.
Vic, calm down.
Forget about all this. It's a
We're
giant.
not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein.
Oh, hey,
I
Trent.
believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force.
Oh.
Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heidelstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
What was this all?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
Oh no, this is an intervention.
Quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I
Hmm.
engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
It's like, see you.
No, Trant, it's too late. You're part of this
Oh.
shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
What the shit kid?
You. Shit kid?
Oh,
That's you.
Maybe you've deserved it.
formidable. How'd you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I saved his establishment and still he betrays me?
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building. It was on fire.
Yeah, I lit it on fire. It was a poetic
I
gesture.
knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trant? I told you it was our shit kid.
The line is from Lu Jiatun's Mirova 82, isn't it? About girl-child communism, the titular returning character to ghost the apparition of... Good choice, Harry.
He is correct.
Thanks.
It was the Seraillese poet Lu Jiatun who, in the 50s of the last
Encyclopedia.
century, composed the...
Don't encourage him, Trant.
Okay.
Okay. You aren't the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true, and it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Actually, I expected something was
Did
off.
you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
Judging by the familiarity you feel toward him, 2 years minimum? Or maybe a short but close stint on the task force.
You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman.
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends.
We're still friends. I just have a stupid head.
Okay. Because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training.
So, Trent Adelstorm turns out to be special consultant Trent
Yes,
Adelstorm.
I'm Trant Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Trant Heilestam.
Hey, what's up with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Oh yeah, what was with all the interesting history? Spying on me?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez.
Oh.
It was a coincidence.
Okay.
Him being there with his son, it was not a coincidence. It's difficult to see, but he was worried about you.
So what are
Also
you?
interested in the Feld building?
What are your special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Duped again. No one's who they say they are.
Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Gardener, scab leader, this. Turn to the lieutenant. Tell me at least you are who you said you were.
Yes, I'm still Kinky Soulagi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57.
Thank you, Kim.
Still caught up in this crossfire, too.
You mentioned a task force?
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstown, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Okay, so who's Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team.
That's cool.
He was really good.
Oh,
Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit.
oh.
Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back.
Oh.
Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant because I'm forcing him to stay.
Oh.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating.
Oh.
Look at me, I'm G-Baby. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing
Oh.
for both of you.
What does the unit do?
It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
Where have you been all this time?
Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
Why didn't you detect or die then?
Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow?
Yeah.
We were crying when we got here.
Oh.
Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Wait, you think I'm so poor I lost my memory?
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory... I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking Verhede for school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
Highly experimental detective. This was a method I used to solve the case. Might have something to do with the anomaly in the church, a 2-millimeter hole in the world.
Corresponding to the 20-centimeter hole in your brain. Sure. This theory has great symmetry. I see how it folds into itself neatly.
Oh. Take this seriously. I expect there might be something wrong with Martinez.
This sounds odd, but I was there. The church on the coast was shaking from an audiospatial anomaly. It may have been anthroponetic or perhaps related to radio waves. Either way, it was real. I've even put it in my report. You should read it. I do not, however, think it has anything to do with him drinking himself to the
Shut up,
point
Kim.
of brain damage.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Just to clarify, I do not think his other anthroponetics are a hoax. Pale produces global phenomena. It's proven. However, what has not been proven is total memory loss after drinking too much Commodore Red. Honestly, I think he's just lying to us.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the 2 drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
The 2 cases in your ledger,
Hmm.
the unsolvable case and the Next World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes.
Hmm.
Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect. Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just need it for its end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will
Is
he
he
not
a
be able to
cretin
work in the major
now?
crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Line detective is good for now.
For now, I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
They can keep that pension. You're rock solid. You can put your clothes on hard.
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Just stand there.
Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Tequila Sunset. I also jumped the canal, by the way.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Tequila Sunset. Jump the canal. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police
You're
property that's coming out of my payslip.
Oh,
you
really?
know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
What I do have is this futuristic armor. I got my badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic.
Oh my
Your
god.
badge slips out of your hand. Not today, badge.
Behold, my
And
badge.
your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
Gun.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I'm not drunk. I haven't started drinking again.
So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Ajay, she was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained.
Oh, well, if she was specially trained. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby's something, or the fact that you very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
Thank you, Kim.
He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you?
Don't make this harder for yourself.
Oh.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
No, I think he means on me,
On
Kim.
Lieutenant Yefretor Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a true blue moralist. He recently attempted to contact a coalition warship in order to assign la responsabilité, which is commendable, but also at odds with his own behavior. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Some kind of anti-radiation drug he uses to induce visions. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
Yep.
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and
Oh
shows
my
it to the
God.
officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Say nothing.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Kind of.
Detective?
I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
I also started a nightclub in the church.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church.
Yeah, and I discovered an unexplored astronomical phenomenon there, a tomb or a hole in the world.
Get a grip. No one cares about your anthroponetic adventures right now.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
Husband was female. The reeds are its nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It gathered items in its nest: a helmet, a scope, and a passport.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers.
I still think it was
Of
a
course, as I
female.
said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
I think it reproduced by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Observation.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense. Yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Yes. That would be a chiromone, a pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates the affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course.
Nothing is off the table. But I want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable, without any chiromones.
Of course, Lieutenant. Of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other. People are not going to...
They're not going to go for this speculation in the constabulary.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it...
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
Oh, there was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How'd you know I found
The
him?
body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
I looked into the mystery of the Doom commercial area.
I don't know what a Doom commercial area is.
Commercial building where all businesses go bankrupt, I looked into it.
Why? That's not what you were supposed to do here.
There was a fridge we needed and a possible witness. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay.
Of course. Call it community outreach,
Yes,
right?
yes. Community
Dodged
outreach.
the bullet there. For a moment, it seemed like you were just wasting time.
Confiscated drugs from Kuno's
Who's
dad.
Kuno?
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I'm in. At this point, anything is but the drink.
Killer. Yeah, strong motive for him.
Lilyanovich. A revolutionary matronym.
Yep.
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lillian. His Lillian's son, Lilyanovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Killed the mercenary hoping to start a war between the company and the union.
And it worked? You got a war going?
Almost.
Yes, until we stopped it. He saw the mercenary as an ennemi combattant. There's plenty for prosecution to pick from, as far as motive is concerned. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
More than that, a perfect folding mechanism like the phasmid.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It will pass. In time.
The previous head of the Elysium was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
Ooh.
So I have to.
Yeah.
Good.
Got 'em.
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
A few questions before I go. About who
The
I
man
am.
looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but
Before?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron.
Oh,
It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
that does explain a
Harry,
lot.
it explains everything. The running around,
Oh.
the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair,
A collection of found sportswear I've
your
amassed.
moves on the church floor, which
Oh.
honestly was just jump aerobics, your use of the word graffito.
Oh, it all makes
The
sense.
raw, robust stamina output. Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. God, even this javelin throwing freak hair.
Oh god, contact Mike.
Of course. Contact Mike.
he's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy.
Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of Oakland competition. A 5,000 to 1 rank outsider.
Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
Of course.
It is getting cold out.
When was this? When was I a gym
In
teacher?
your 20s or late 20s? You've really let yourself go since then.
Said in Coron? I was a gym teacher there?
Yes, you taught gym in Coron. I believe that's the term.
Oh.
Taught gym at a...
The smell of sweat and glue. Kuro is just east of Jamrock. It was a short
High school. Harry, your goings on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
Because I used to have to talk to
his
high
smirk
schoolers.
suggests barely contained laughter.
Why did I join the
The
RCM
regular.
then?
You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym.
Oh,
She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like
he's an
that.
honest to God
He's an
gym
honest-to-God
teacher.
gym teacher.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Ooh,
Dora something. Dora Ingerlund. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
wait, or
Something
England?
like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
We weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was that?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she
Oh.
was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years.
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one. Incredibly bangable.
Oh, figures.
Extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin.
Okay.
Pain Welkin.
Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is going down.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Am I a dirty cop working for La Putra Madre?
No,
Oh, systems seem to think.
you're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry.
Oh.
No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
What kind of station is it?
Us? Well, the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the
great.
bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean.
Yep.
They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic, though. Torson and McLean.
Iconic duo.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser. Although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys. Police captain, but they speak of change. The city. The tension on the streets.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast. Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
Can you tell Lena about the
Who
Phasmin?
is Lena?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock. Remember?
Cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmin.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Oh my god, you know where I live?
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She is going to be over the moon. Watch out, or she'll faint.
What will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
You wanna come join us?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I mean come work in our precinct.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit him. I'm crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Oh.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard, you close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes.
Square
On
bullet
Rue de
hole
Saint-Germain,
murders.
A square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, A man without eyelids smiles.
Oh.
Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the RCM. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
I guess we beat the video game. It didn't even disappoint them. Well, I mean, more than was avoidable. Didn't we go get the suspect? Oh, I guess we're getting him medical help. Oh, thanks, Vickerman. Wow, that was great. I love that ending. I guess I just kind of wish there was more, but, I mean, yeah, that was a ton of time playing that. That was great, though. Fantastic. Probably one of the best games I've played. It's so unlike anything else. And it makes me sad to hear what happened with the developers and everything. And I hope that works out for them, because it's so shitty. How many hours did I clock in at? Oh, it doesn't show it because I am not launching the game from Steam. Yeah, it doesn't show my full playtime. That's crazy. That's awkward. Oh well. Yeah, that was great though. Hopefully I can convince some of my friends to play this game, because it's really good. Shame to think that after everything that happened with the studio that they may never make anything like this again. I know that they didn't really make video games before this, and this was kind of something that they, you know, decided to do. But I kind of wish they'd make something similar, you know? That'd be cool. Oh, the voice actors. Wait, Kuno and Jane Vickerman are the same voice actor? That's crazy. I kind of want to look up a picture of what Measurehead's voice actor looks like. wonder what I'll be doing next. I think playing... I don't even know what it's called. That survival horror game that came out? I think it's on Game Pass. Probably be playing that next. I did buy Game Pass for a month, so I do want to play that, and I do want to play Wasteland 3, so hopefully I'll be able to get through those. I don't know, though. Don't have that much time off, so who knows. I really wanted to do Wasteland 3 co-op, but Brett doesn't want to do it, and Wayne still doesn't have a computer, so... Oh. I wonder if I'll be able to see what my playtime is. I'm curious. Probably like 40 hours, maybe 35. I guess I could just look at my YouTube footage, huh? Just add it up that way. Yeah, this game is really something special. I don't think I've laughed so hard in a long time. Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably start Signalis tomorrow. And after that, I guess I'll play Wasteland 3? I don't know, I guess I can play through it solo and then replay through it in co-op maybe if one wants to do that with me. Yeah, I heard Signalis is pretty good. I hear it's like 10 or 12 hours. That's exciting. Pretty long for that type of game. Changed one of my alarms, the alarm for my days off, to the Whirling in Rags theme, the 8 a.m. one. It's nice, I like it. Fortunately, on my day, Chris Avalon. On my days off, I usually end up waking up slightly before my alarm, so it's not that exciting because I don't really seem to wake up to it. But yeah. Capo Trap House. Boom. Mankind be vigilant, we loved you. Alright, well. Beat it. Great game. I don't know if I would ever replay it, but maybe. I'm sure it would be interesting. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the stream then. So, be heading out.